It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
Des Clark, and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. And we are back at the heart of the Edinburgh International Festival Fringe! And we are in Leith! Yeah! With me are four fabulous comics. On my right, we have Mark Jennings and Jessica Fostekew. And facing them are Lucy Porter and Roscoe McClelland. In the news this week, a tribunal has found that employees in their 20s and 30s who annoy older co-workers by chatting, socialising and looking at their phones are not breaking workplace equality rules. Luckily, older employees have found a way to get their own back by going home to the house that they paid $5,000 for in 1980. Walmart has recalled some of its shrimp products in the US after radioactive material was detected in a shipment of seafood. Bosses were first alerted after a shopper tried to buy a king prawn curry, and it replied, "If I were you, I'd go for the chicken." And scientists have developed a brain implant that turns thoughts into speech. They say the device has a 99% success rate in ending marriages. Right, you've met our teams. Let's crack on with round one. This is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So, Mark and Jessica, can you tell me what this is all about?
Donald Trump says he's working to arrange a face-to-face meeting between Sir Keir Starmer and
a quarter of UK adults
to try to end
the state pension.
He said
that by 2075, a quarter of
European leaders
will be of pension age, with the number of those over 85 nearly trebling.
It's all been going on this week. Mark, what do you think our first story might be?
I think it's the White House talks about Ukraine and trying to solve the war.
That is correct. It's been a week of discussions between US President Donald Trump and European leaders aimed at ending the war in Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelensky hailed the significant talks in the White House, his first visit since the infamous spat between him and Trump in the Oval Office. A safe location will be needed if talks take place between Putin and Zelensky, though Donald Trump did look a bit sheepish when they asked if anybody knew of any private islands.
To attend the White House meeting, Starmer had to cut short his family holiday. It's the second time he's had to do this in as many years, and I'd have just loved to have seen his wife's reaction when he told her. She's just like, "Oh, what is it this time? World peace." Very good. He said the same thing last year.
Well, there we go, Jessica. It's all been happening this week. High-level talks. Do you think this will work?
Yeah, pretty confident, yeah. Yeah, fingers crossed. I like the idea of the Coalition of the Willing, because that's my cute nickname for my marriage. And what brought me a lot of joy is that even though they are having talks about how to end an actual war, they still found time to stop and compliment each other on their outfits. That is nice. Zelensky got some compliments on his suit, didn't he, from the press there? And I hope he did what I do whenever anyone says anything nice about my clothes. I hope he shouted, £9, vintage.
Lucy, it's been a huge story this week. Do you think this will work?
Negotiating with Putin is like climbing Mount Everest, isn't it? It's like ultimately pointless and lots of people are going to die, quite frankly. The only hope we have with Putin, I think, is that he accidentally puts Novichok in his own tea. You know he's got it in the fridge, hasn't he? He's got the full-fat, semi-skimmed Novichok. Obviously not oat milk, because you don't know what's in that, you know.
Roscoe, what say you? Do you think this will work?
I couldn't do their job, you know. If I had to go and meet Putin, my brain would just be going, do the song, and I'd be going, where passion sits, Putin on the Ritz. I would do that to him. I would make things worse, if anything, you know.
We're looking at the politics at the highest end right now in the world, with Donald Trump there with all the leaders looking to influence him. What tactics would you use to persuade Donald Trump?
I'd have to just try good old-fashioned flirting. Yeah, I'd say, hey, Donny. Hey, Don. I like your wigs. I'd say, don't know if you know, but my search terms are tariffs and what's-its.
Lucy, what tactics would you use to persuade Mr. Trump?
Well, because I think people keep doing things like buying him planes and, having military parades and giving him meetings with the king and stuff. And he cheers up for about 5 minutes and then he looks miserable again afterwards. So I think let's give him a Happy Meal. Because we know he likes McDonald's, we know he likes Diet Coke, and then he'll have a little toy as well to keep him occupied.
Do you know what? That's not a bad idea.
Yes.
That toy is called Greenland. Roscoe, what do you think about this then? With all those world leaders surrounding Donald Trump, trying to influence him, what tactics would you use to persuade him?
Do you know what? Honesty. I think I would go for honesty. I would just tell him exactly what I would hold a mirror up to him. Do you know? Because I think that's important. Although I worry that he'd be like one of those budgies that I see on YouTube and just try and attack himself.
Yes, Mark and Jessica, you get 2 points for that. It was the ongoing discussion about how to end the war in Ukraine. Right, Lucy and Roscoe, what was the other story we were after?
This is the story that the government might be putting the pension age up to 70.
This is the news that the UK government has been looking at fundamental changes to the state pension, including potentially raising the retirement age to 70. It could also see the state pension age linked to life expectancy. So if you're listening to this in Dundee... Congratulations, you retired in 2016. Oh, wow. Lucy, great answer there. What did you make generally of these proposals then?
Well, I was reading it and I was furious to begin with, right until I read up to find out that it won't happen until after 2050. So it won't affect me. So it will affect my children, but to be honest, they aren't working yet. And frankly, they show very few signs of any enthusiasm ever to do so. Denmark recently raised their retirement age to 70, but Denmark is a very flat country. It's easy on the knees.
Yeah.
Whereas Edinburgh, very much not flat.
I think it's crazy. Are you telling me that, like, as your life expectancy goes up, it's just the longer you have to work? And they're working it off this, the Danish method, I believe, but I'll be working under my own Danish method, really, which is just eating bacon every day so I just die young and I don't have to worry about it.
Two very different outlooks on the future there.
I think there's a room for optimism here, because if it means that we have to work until we're older, it means that they'll have to think of more jobs that much older people can do. I've got some ideas. For a start, I don't know if you've witnessed how loud an elderly person can endure a television. My stepdad has got it up to 50. That's the max it goes. Didn't know it could go that loud. You really only need it that loud if you are trying to mask the sounds of a murder. And he can still fall asleep during that. So I don't know why he isn't still being put to work in nightclub management or air traffic control. And I've read enough popular novels now and seen enough television to know we'd be mad not to be using these old people as murder detectives.
Very good.
Yes.
Yep.
There must be a better way to deal with this. Lucy, any ideas? Is there a better way to deal with an ageing population?
Following on from Jess's point, I absolutely agree that detective work for the elderly, because I'm on a thing called Nextdoor, which is a website for our region, our area, and everyone's on that all the time going, I just saw someone loitering outside my house. They were clearly on drugs or drunk, very scruffy, and then a car pulled up and took them away. Do you think that they were casing my house? And I have to read that and go, no, that was me waiting for an Uber. That's literally absolutely true story.
Roscoe, what's your take on this? Do you think there are better ways to deal with an ageing population?
Yeah, well, I think apparently they've already found it. It's to funnel them into the studio audience for BBC Scotland's Breaking the News.
Mark Jennings, are there better ways to deal with an ageing population?
Has anyone proposed sending them to Rwanda? Because, you know, a lot of people of that demographic were saying how safe it was to send people there, so let's, you know.
Yes, well done, Lucy and Roscoe. You get 2 points for that. It was the mashup of discussions of how to end the war in Ukraine and the potential shake-up of the state pension age in the UK. And well done. At the end of that round, it is 2 points apiece. Now, much of our news is about public opinion, so to find out what stories people are talking about, we spoke to two friends of the show, comedy actor and writer Arabella Weir and former Scottish football international, now pundit and writer Pat Nevin. So, Lucy and Roscoe, what do you think Arabella is on about here?
At the risk of sounding like an old fogey, I'm not sure the editors are delulu so much as probably market forced. And they probably also think they're being funny. As long as the meaning is clear, then I don't suppose it matters what you say.
It's about some of the new words that have been added to the dictionary, such as like skibbity, delulu and tradwife.
Yes, the terms skibbity, tradwife and delulu are amongst the new words to have made this year's Cambridge Dictionary. The selection of these words, born from the internet, confirms the increasing influence of the TikTok generation on the English language.
I quite like delulu. I think that's quite nice for delusional. The only danger is you don't want it to become recognised as the standard clinical definition, because the last thing you want to hear from a consultant psychiatrist is, well, I'm afraid that you have delulu of Grandiwanja as a potential symptom of schizophrenia weenie.
I was just in the middle of all that hearing schizophrenia weenie. All I could think about was yellow polka dot bikini.
If all of these words are officially words, hopefully maybe we can all be allowed some new words that we've invented. I've thought of some. Here are some of my favourites. The nanosphere. It's a toxic sphere of influence whereby older women encourage younger ones towards handicrafts and general compassion and resilience. Bully cam, that's where you pick up your phone and the selfie camera is surprise on and catches you right up the chins. And shackcident, which is luckily quite self-explanatory.
Mark, what would be your favourite word and why?
Well, my favourite words, I don't even think it's actually in the English dictionary, but it's use, is in the plural of you. Because I guess people in the south of England, yous don't use, do you?
What is your favourite word and why?
This is a hard question because I had to go through all of them last night. I think betwixt is my favourite word because it adds a certain gravitas, which is another good one. That was close, gravitas was close, but betwixt is great because you're making a set. If you're just say, oh, put a bit of ham between two slices of bread, that's no good. But if you say, I put a bit of ham betwixt two slices of bread, that's good, isn't it? Also, it makes me imagine what it would feel like if a witch turned me into a Twix. So I like that.
Obviously, as a guest in this beautiful country, I have to say that over the years, the Scots words that I have collected. So I did a show last year where I was wearing nightwear on stage, and a man came up to me afterwards and said, "Oh, I love your baffies." And of course I was like, well, thank you very much, they're all natural.
Experts say there's no stopping the evolution of language. Sorry, I mean the evolulu of langugu. That's right, new words being added to the Cambridge Dictionary is indeed the right answer. Lucy and Roscoe, you get 2 points for that. Now to you, Mark and Jessica, it's your turn. What do you think Pat is talking about here?
As far as I'm concerned, this is about the most tasteless thing on this planet. And now they want us to pay a fortune for it. Now, I've travelled round the entire world and we have the best version of this right here in Scotland.
I think this is a restaurant that has begun to serve a water-only drinks menu.
That's a great shout, Jess. That is the right answer, yes. Drink It In. A Michelin-star restaurant in Cheshire is launching Britain's first ever water bottle menu. Customers can choose between a selection of premium water that will cost anything from £5 to £19 and will be served in a wine glass. The owners say they worked alongside one of only 5 water sommeliers in the country to put this together. The restaurant offers a range of 7 premium waters from across Europe. The selection includes still, tap and sparkling, or as we say here in Scotland, still, tap and oh, fancy.
Of course there are only 5 water sommeliers in the world. There's only so many people who can talk at length about the taste of nothing. It tastes of clearness, absence and voids. A lovely vintage here of liquid concept. Fresh from the bathroom tap of a bungalow in Aberlady. Come on. The people who own this restaurant said we're trying to keep up with the market. We wanted to offer something a bit different. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called a scam.
Mark, what do you think about this? Would you buy water for £20?
No, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, for £20 you can nearly get 2 pints at the Edinburgh Fringe. See, like, my gran, right? My gran is super Catholic, but she wouldn't even buy holy water for 20 quid. That was, like, signed by Jesus himself.
Roscoe, what a story this is, my friend. Would you buy water for £20?
No, I like drinking water, right? I'm a big water drinker. I love it, right? My favourite thing about drinking water is if I drink loads of it, my urine goes completely clear. And as a man, you know, as a man living on the edge of life, I'm constantly checking my surroundings, right? I just think it's good to see 100% of what's going in my toilet when I'm looking there. Do you know? I can see all the ceramic.
And Roscoe will be selling his clear urine for £20.
My husband and I, we did, on our last anniversary, we thought we'll try and drink the most expensive thing that we can. And I can tell you, printer ink, absolutely. I can particularly recommend the Cyan 2024 Hewlett-Packard. It's a lovely vintage.
It's a lovely drop, isn't it, that one?
It is gorgeous.
Just the very best. And of course, we're talking about the most expensive water in the world. What a selection. There are also plans for an all-you-can-eat water menu, which will consist of a hose. Yes, of course, the answer is going overboard with water bottles. And 2 points goes to Mark and Jessica. This is Breaking the News from BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who's in the news. I will play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Mark and Jessica, you're first this time. Who is this?
A very big problem nowadays, and it's a big issue. So I thought that it would be good to help them because in Glasgow it is freezing.
This is a girl called Rebecca Young who's come up with an invention to use solar power to help heat up blankets to give to homeless people.
Well done, Mark. That is correct. Yes, a Glasgow school pupil has been named among Time magazine's Girls of the Year for inventing a device to help homeless people keep warm. Rebecca Young was 12 when she designed the solar-powered blanket and is now amongst 10 girls from across the world selected by Time magazine to be Girl of the Year. Meanwhile, Boy of the Year went to a wee guy for Fife who can lick his own elbow.
I am inspired by this. I hope that more brilliant teenagers are going to be inventing ways out of terrible situations we've left for them. One thing I'm really hoping there's going to be a teenager clever enough to do is to find a way to harness all the energy of my perimenopause and turn that into electricity. Pretty confident, Leith, that there are at least 3 days a month where I could definitely power a medium-sized town.
Lucy, amazing achievement from Rebecca Young. What did you make of this?
Just to echo, it nearly restored the factory settings on my cynicism. So it's like, this is so lovely. But it's nice, she's Time Magazine's Girl of the Year, although I did think Time Magazine do have a bit of history, because Time's Person of the Year have included Putin, Stalin twice, and in 1938, the up-and-coming face of vegetarianism, Adolf Hitler. So I'm just saying, let's just kind of keep an eye on Rebecca to see what she does next. If at any point she's thinking of annexing Cumbernauld, let's just move. Let's move at that point.
Well done to Rebecca. Fantastic story and a great example of the youth of today making a difference. What was your biggest achievement by the age of 13?
By the age of 13, I had attained my adult height.
Oh, Roscoe, what about this? What was your biggest achievement by the age of 13?
I peaked early in my life, right? I peaked from birth, and it's been a slow, steady downhill, because when I was born with mutton chops, right? And I was not only entered into, but won the daily record Rabbie Burns Baby 1988 competition.
That is a great achievement, and well done, of course, to Rebecca Young. Yes, Scottish schoolgirl Rebecca Young had the idea for a solar-powered thermal blanket at the age of 12 after seeing the sun for the first time. Yes, 2 points to Mark and Jessica. That was the brilliant Rebecca Young. Right, Lucy and Roscoe, it's your turn now. Who is this, and why are they in the news?
It just seemed to be a fun idea to do it in Edinburgh during the Fringe. We were saying this, what if we do it on stage?
Sharing on stage feels like quite a natural thing for us.
This is a couple who got married on stage at the Fringe, Linus Karp and Joseph Martin, and they had a lovely wedding in front of 750 people. They sold out the venue, so presumably they'll put on extra shows.
It is indeed the story of two performers who tied the knot live on stage at the Fringe. Linus Karp and Joseph Martin were married on stage at the Pleasance on Saturday with friends, family and onlookers in the audience. In lieu of gifts, guests were invited to donate to charity or buy tickets to their shows. Maybe next time let me know beforehand, said the guy in the audience holding a brand new air fryer. That's brilliant, Lucy. Great spot in that. So, what about you? Would you ever get married on stage?
I mean, it's a lot of pressure on your marriage, isn't it, doing it on stage? Imagine waking up the first day of your honeymoon and realising you've got 2 stars in The Scotsman.
Would you ever get married on stage, Roscoe?
I would like for me and my wife to do our wedding again for one reason, because our photographer wasn't good. Basically, we had a good photographer, and then my brother-in-law, him and his now wife were like, oh, we've got a friend who does photographs, we'd like to hire her to do your photographs. And we were like, all right, that'll save us a bit of money, paid the other guy's deposit. And only on the day of the wedding, I found out that this friend had never actually photographed a wedding before because she was a horse photographer. A horse, she'd only photographed horses. So obviously all the photos for our wedding are terrible because we're no horses, you know. But I should have known. There were just wee things I should have spotted through it. Like when my wife was walking down the aisle, she had to jump a small hedge to get to the end. Clues.
That's worth a redo, mate. I love that. Mark, what about you? Is this something that would appeal to you? Would you ever get married on stage?
I sometimes wonder about, commitment and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if you've heard of this thing. It's quite popular now, attachment styles, right? But I was on a date with a girl recently and she made me do this attachment style quiz and I got dismissive avoidant. And she's like, oh, that's bad. I'm like, it's a lot of rubbish. Never text her back after that.
Ghosted.
Yeah.
Jess, what about you? Would you ever get married on stage?
No, I'm very shy.
Lucy. So let's ask this one round the houses. What's the most memorable thing that you've seen at the festival?
There was, those human statues. A couple of years ago, I saw this amazing human statue, and he'd been painted all silver. He looked great, and a fella gave his kid 50p and said, "Go up and see if you can make him move." And this little kid just walked up, punched him in the balls.
Yes, well done. Newlyweds, Linus Karp and Joseph Martin is the right answer. And 2 points go to Lucy and Roscoe. And it's time now for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
Some days, you really do learn something new.
Oh, that's Gary Robertson with some amazing advice for all the kids going back to school. Right, fingers on your buzzers, and here we go. 61% of us argue about what? Jessica.
Is it whether to have a holiday this year or a lovely bottle of water?
Beautiful. Let's keep it going. 61% of us argue about what? Mark.
What day of the week the bins go out?
What do we think? 61% of us argue about what? Lucy.
Is it whether one of us has hidden the other one's fungal nail cream?
It's not that. 61% of us argue about what? Roscoe.
Nothing, it's fine.
What we were looking for is that 61% of us argue about everyday chores.
Some days, you really do learn something new.
Oh, there we are. That is the klaxon. Gary has Robertson. It means it's all over. And at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Lucy Porter and Roscoe McClelland. And commiserations to Mark Jennings and Jessica Fostekew. And we'll leave you with the breaking news. Breaking news just in. Vienna has been chosen to host the Eurovision Song Contest 2026. Contestants are a wee bit worried, as the last time a singing competition was held in Austria with fascism on the rise, the 9 winners had to escape across the border into Switzerland. Jim Glennie, one of Scotland's last surviving veterans of the D-Day landings, is celebrating his 100th birthday. Well-wishers said he was a testament to Scottish bravery and grit, whilst Captain Tom's daughter said, "Come on, Jim, just a few more laps." And 2 teenagers on an inflatable mattress and a woman on an inflatable crocodile had to be rescued on Monday after being blown out to sea off the coast at Ayr Beach. The trio are brought back to shore by the RNLI, which of course stands for Rescuing Numpties on Lilos and Inflatables. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!